See if my internet will work this time. I didn't look yellow tonight. See if we can get some people in here. Talk about uh, uh, some plans I have after the first of the year. See what happens. Get some people in here. We get some people in here. If not, oh well. Oh well. It is what it is. Not, I will do a video instead of a live. This is why I don't go live, because I never have time throughout the week to go live. I always have to do everything on a weekend, and everybody is doing something on the weekends. It says I got one person in here, but it's probably the wife, so we'll see. Probably the wifey. Talk about my plans for the after the first of the year, how this channel is going to hopefully take off a little quicker. That's why I don't like to be a new YouTuber, because all the drama and crap that's going on right now on the YouTube streets. It's so hard for people like me to try to push a name out there. And it's very hard trying to push a channel out there when you don't, when you work and sleep all the time, and you can only do things on the weekend. That's what sucks. Only time you have time to do lives and videos and stuff is Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays, because all the other days I'm working or sleeping. That's what sucks. Says I got two people in here. Two people in here. So yeah, it kind of sucks. I like how I talk to myself. It's what I should do, is just hit record on my phone one day while I'm in the garage and just start talking to myself. And just pretend the camera's not even recording. What up, Shade Darker? How are you? Even though I just talked to you a few minutes ago. But yeah, I will definitely get a hold of you after the first of the year and set up a time and date with you, Shade, and maybe do like a little interview with you. I'm trying to, after the first of the year, I'm try to do more lives, but I can only do it on Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays, because I work Monday through Thursday, 12-hour shifts, so I'm constantly sleeping and working. So I never have time to hop on a panel or figure anything out on these lives to bring people up on my panel so I can talk to them. So once I figure all that out, I'm going to reach out to Shade Darker, and I'm going to reach out to Progressive and CFOWs. I want to reach out to them and do interviews with them as well. And each interview will be different. It's not going to be the same thing. It'll be similar, but it's going to be different. Because I feel like the people who has helped me out the most on this YouTube stuff is Power Stroke, Bare Bones, Progressive, CFOWs, Shade Darker. All those people I just named, it seems like they have supported me and told me keep doing what I'm doing. because they see something that I don't see in myself. So that's that's what makes me keep doing these videos, even though the videos are stupid and dumb and all that stuff, and about cars, about squirrels, and about just stuff that I don't know what else to talk about. You know what I mean? So instead of thinking about what I'm going to talk about that day, I just hit play and just start talking. So whatever happens or whatever comes out of my mouth, that's the subject we're talking about. So I figured after the first of the year, if I can get where I can figure out how to bring people up on a panel, I can start doing interviews with these people that helped me through all of this and supported me. So that's why I want to do an interview with these individuals. So after the first of the year, I will get a hold of you, Shade Darker, and I know you got some plans coming up, some big plans you was talking about. So I will maybe set up a date and time with you, and then we will go from there. So that way, I can, in the meantime, I can figure out how to bring you and people up on my panel, because I haven't figured that shit out yet, or I haven't got that far yet. So I'm hoping to get more people. That's what I'm hoping for. That way my lives can be bigger. Then I have more people in the chat. So, well, we got three. We got three. We went from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3. Yay! We're moving up a little bit. We're moving up. But with that being said, so with all that I just said to the two people, now I got three in here. I'm hoping, like I said, after the first of the year, I can, in the meantime, I will figure out how to bring people up on my panel. And I want to interview these people that I just named. That way, I can give back and I can get to know them one-on-one, and then it might help me to have more confidence in myself when I go to a chat room like Seafouse tonight. I said I would hop up on his panel, but I become a chicken and not do it, even though I was working on a car and stuff like that, but I just don't have enough confidence for some odd reason where it's hard for me to hop up on someone's panel, because I feel like the people on the panel's fine because I can interact with them, but it's the people it's in the chat. I don't even pay attention to the chat, but I'm afraid the people in the chat just wouldn't like what I got to say or anything like that. So that's why I don't hop up on panels most of the time, because that's how I've been and that's how I've always been. And now I'm getting to the point where I am not worrying about what people think of me. I don't care what people think of me, how I look and all that. I just want people to see who I really am, and not, I get a lot of people on my videos saying all what I do is when I hop on someone's panel or hop in someone's chat that I am trying to steal their people, or I'm trying to just troll, or I'm just doing stuff that people just don't like, I guess. So and now everybody's really fishy, because sometimes you get certain people up on your panel where they feel like they have to talk over everybody, or they feel like someone said something in the comments and it pissed them off because they're not really talking about that person, but that person up on the panel thinks they're talking about that person. Technically, they're not talking about that person. It's up on the panel, and then it starts this whole drama stuff, and I don't like drama. What's up, HBR? So, how's everybody doing tonight? HBR, how are you doing tonight? I know Shade Darker's listening, so he's got some stuff going on. I did bend my steel, though. I did, even though I don't have a way to bend steel, but I figured it out. I blame StreamYard and yeah, but no. StreamYard, I don't use StreamYard, so I don't really know what StreamYard is, honestly. I've seen it on other people's panels, but I don't, I'm assuming it helps stream videos and stuff, but I don't use StreamYard, so it does, YouTube does bring a, like when you go live, it seems like it brings out a lot of weird people. That's how some people do. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. That's how people do their panels. So I need to set up a StreamYard, I'm assuming. It's probably what I got to do. I probably have to do what everybody else does and set up some kind of, like you said, HBR StreamYard, set up something like that so I can bring people up. So, but might have to do that. I might have to look into doing something like that so I can bring the people up on the panel that I talked about earlier so I can start doing some interviews. Even though most of my content is working on cars, like the stuff behind me, uh, getting that ready. I was wanting it to be done before winter, but everything snuck up on me so fast, and I work 12-hour shifts. It's kind of hard to work on this thing every day like I used to do with my S10. Um, if I was at my old job where I only worked 8 hours and Monday through Friday, I didn't have to be at work until 11 o'clock at night, so I could get off work, come home, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, get back up, come into the garage, work on the S10. So I was constantly working on it throughout the week too. But now it's to the point where I work 12-hour shifts. So I work and sleep through the week, and then on the weekends, this is the time I can do my lives and do my nice. I was a mechanic before I blew my back out. Right on. I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, I I wouldn't consider myself mechanic. I'm more of the auto body type, but I do mechanic stuff. I do that. I do mechanical stuff. Uh, I don't do rebuild engines because I don't trust myself enough to put one back together because I never done it. So I know everybody tells me it's easy to do, but I never done it. So I don't I don't yeah, body work it's tough for some people, Me, I always been around it my whole entire life, ever since I was a little guy. Um, I started getting into body work uh, the age of 4. Uh, I would go and stay with my mom's dad and or with my grandparents, and he would buy cars, and he was both sides. He did body work and mechanic work on them, but he would go buy wrecked cars, and then he would fix them up, pull the frames or whatever he had to do, and he would fix them up and then flip them, resell them. But he would only sell them at a certain price. So he would say he would get a car, fix it up, and sell it anywhere from $300 on up to $2,500, and he wouldn't go beyond $2,500. So I'm starting to get into doing that myself. So after the first of the year, I'm getting a car trailer, and I will be doing I will be buying cars, wrecked cars or cars that's been sitting, and I will fix them up and resell them, just to have some side money going. My goal is eventually to have my own personal business like I used to have many years ago. But as of right now, I work 12-hour shifts. What's up, birthday chat? I work 12-hour shifts, so I don't have time like I used to last year, where I can sleep for a little bit, get up, come to the garage, work, and then lay back down, take a nap, go to work, and then come home. Now it's 12 hours. Is I come home after I get off work, sleep for an hour or two, get up, take my stepson to school, come back home, lay back down, get up about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then spend time with the wife, and then I go to work. So I don't have that time like I used to work in the garage like I wanted to. So hopefully here soon I can buy a house and do that. Yeah, definitely money in flipping cars. Yeah, I look on Marketplace off of Facebook. I shop around there all the time. Uh, the town I live in, uh, we got a lot of drug addicts that are here in this town, and they like to sell their cars for very cheap because they're trying to get their next fix. So some of them, the fuel pump might go out of it, and they put it up for sale for $200, $300, $500, and I can snatch those up and fix them and flip them, and so hard to find good deals on cars out here. Yeah, even here in Ohio, it is very hard to find good deals on cars. Like, I don't know how I do it, but I ended up last summer, I bought a $250 car off of uh, my wife's brother. He had a GT Grand Am in 2003. He got in a car accident. He ended up getting rear-ended by someone, and it smashed the trunk in. It did not break the tail lights. It broke the clips off the tail lights, but it didn't break the tail lights. Tail lights work. It messed up the back bumper, and it pushed the trunk in, but the trunk lid was still, you couldn't, you could shut it, but it wouldn't latch. So I bought the car off of him for scrapyard price, 250 bucks. It ran good, had decent tires on it. So I ended up buying a set of rims off of him before I bought his car. So I bought his car, I bought his set of rims off of him. I ended up pulling the frame of the trunk out and fixed everything, and then I welded some steel plates inside of the trunk. That way I didn't have to cut the back half of the trunk off and then weld a new piece in. I just pulled everything out. I actually used a ratchet strap and pulled the back of the trunk out so it can be flush. I pulled the carpet out, ended up welding 2 steel plates inside by the tail lights, so that way if the car ever got hit in the ass end ever again, it wouldn't, with the weak metal, it wouldn't shove it into the back seat. It would just stop it. Welded that in. I fixed the bumper. I fixed the trunk latch so it could latch. Then I ended up putting the car up for sale. Ended up coming across the kid and his girlfriend who had a 2003 automatic Mustang. It had the 6-cylinder in it, but it had dual exhaust on it. It sounded like it had a V8 in it. It was the 50th anniversary Mustang. I ended up trading that Grand Am for that Mustang. Then I ended up turning around, putting a little bit of money into the Mustang, turned around and sold the Mustang for, I think it was $1,800, either $1,700 or $1,800, and then turned around. So when I sold the Mustang, I ended up turning around and putting that money into my S10. Then I just sold my S10 about 4 months ago to some people here in my hometown. I ended up selling the S10 for I think it was $2,500. Sold the S10, and if anybody's ever seen my YouTube videos, they would see the S10 on it, or if they're on Facebook, they would see the S10 on it. Instagram, if you go to my Instagram, you would see the S10 all over it. After I sold the S10, I took that money, put it in the bank, and then I ended up redoing my 2000 Dodge Durango. I ended up repainting it. It was from Texas. It's actually the wife's truck. She bought it last year, or a couple years ago. It came from Texas, had no rust on it. The frame was solid. There was no rust underneath. The paint was faded, so the truck was silver. So I ended up repainting it Chrysler Midnight Blue. And then I turned around, and I still drive the Durango. Then I turned around and ended up getting this thing. That is a 2002 Kia Sportage. And now I'm putting a little bit of money into this, but the way I'm doing this is the things that are rusted on it, I'm fixing, fabricating my own stuff. I have not once bought anything for this vehicle. Everything I have done to this vehicle so far is what's in this garage. The only thing I have bought was a piece of sheet metal, and that was it. The only reason I bought that is because it was clean and it was cheap. So next summer, this coming up summer, I will be buying a car trailer, and I'm just going to continue that flip. But I gotta get this one done first, because this one the wife wants to drive, because we got it off of her dad, and she wants to keep it. And then this summer I'm going to hopefully go down to Kentucky and pick up a 76, I think it is. It's a 76 Nova. It's got a 355 in it. It's got the 400 turbo transmission in it with the overdrive, and I don't know what gears it has in the back, but it needs the interior redone, or the interior done. He's got all the pieces for it, and it needs a little bit of body work, and I want to try to get that car hopefully this summer, and I'm going to bring it back to Ohio, and then I'm going to fix it up, do my own little touches on it, and then I'm going to turn around and sell it. So, I've been in the game for a while. I haven't painted a car. The Durango was the first vehicle I painted since 2005, 2006 was the last time I ever painted a vehicle until I painted the Durango. And I don't have a big garage, so I couldn't paint it in here. I had to paint it outside underneath a tree. I don't know how I did it, but the paint came out beautiful. And yeah. So now the next step is to buy a house with a pole barn so I can start buying and flipping cars. I paid $400 for my Outback 4 years ago. Put all new wheel, bearings, brakes, just did head gaskets, radiator, heater, core, and all the bushings. Right on, HBR. Actually, auctions here used to be good, but now can't get any deals there. Everybody wants at least $3,000 for mechanic special, non-running vehicle. Birthday chat, I see where you're coming from with that. Yes, that's why the highest I will sell a car for is $3,000. It just depends on, because the way I look at it is, if I took this Kia behind me, the book value of this vehicle, just the way it sits now, is $1,000. So the way I look at it as, if I'm going to sell a car, because the economy sucks right now, I'm buying and selling cars. If I'm going to sell a car, everybody's like, well, you put all this time and money into it. Yes, you can put all the time in it and all the money into it. Say I put $2,500 in this, and the book value is $1,000. Everybody would expect me to sell this car for or at least put it up for sale for $4,000 and don't take no less than $3,500 for it. That's not the case for me. I would seriously, if I put $3,000 into this thing, I would literally put it up for $2,500 and don't take no less than $2,000, $1,800, because I look at it as, and this is why I get a lot of respect from a lot of people in my hometown, because I'm the type of person. What's up, Bare Bones? How you doing tonight? I'm the type of person that I know what it's like when you go out and buy a car. A lot of people just don't have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just laying around. It's hard, especially in my hometown. So what I will do is I will do the work, even though people are telling me, oh, you're ripping yourself off. No, I'm still making money, because the way I do it is I spend very little bit of money, and the only money I would spend is probably paint if I'm going to repaint a car. Then I will use what's in the garage. If I have L Square, what's up? If I have a little spot of rust on the back quarter panel, I'm not going to go out and spend $150 to $200 for a whole back corner panel and weld it in. I will cut that corner panel off and put a piece of sheet metal in it and bend it and form it myself. Or you can do it the very cheap way, cut the piece of rust out, fiberglass it, and call it good, sand it, primer it, paint it, and now you're done. The fiberglass is strong enough, but if you get hit in that quarter panel, yes, it's going to crack, it's going to break. Eventually, over the years, it's going to get brittle and fall apart. But if you do it semi right, And me, I will do it correctly, but if someone wants to do it fast and semi-right, they can just cut that piece of corner panel out, say above the wheel well there, form it, put a piece of cardboard behind it, fiberglass it, sand it down, mud it, primer it, paint it, and you would never know there was fiberglass there. Unless you get hit or unless the weather destroys it. But I like to help other people out. So if I build a car, and if I put, and it goes with a show car. You can put $50,000 into a show car. For an example, you can put 10 grand into an engine of a show car and then put another 10 grand into a paint job, put another 5 grand into interior, and then take another 2,500 to 3 grand on rims and tires. Do you think you're going to get $150,000 out of it? $160,000? No. If you take it to an auction, you might, like a badass car auction, like out in LA or something, you might come close to that. But in Ohio, you're not going to get that out of it. So you can put all that money into it. All what you're going to get out of it is maybe 20 grand to 60. So, Big Daddy, what's up? So it's not, you kind of got to, the way I do it, I work around how the economy works. That's why I get a lot of respect out here in my hometown, because I'm the type of person that, like for an example, there was a dude at the gas station. I went to the gas station earlier today. There was a guy in there. I think he was in his mid-20s, early 30s maybe. And he walked into the gas station and walked back out. And then I went to go open the door and I about hit him with the door. And then I turned around and told him sorry. And then he turns around and asks me if I had 75 cents so he can get a hot coffee. So I told him to hold on. I went to my truck. I got 75 cents. Technically, I didn't even get 75 cents. I got $3 in quarters. So when I got the change out, I walked to him. I was like, come inside with me. I walked inside. I laid down $3 in quarters. And I asked him, I was like, you're pretty dressed up. Why do you need change? He goes, I'm homeless. He goes, I ended up moving out of state, and I ended up moving back here about a year ago or 2 years ago. And I ended up getting into some drugs. And the place I was living at just recently kicked me out because I got into drugs, and those people were drug addicts and they lost their home. I was like, okay. I was like, where are you staying at? He goes, in a tent or underneath the bridge down the street on the west end. I was like, okay, well, so he's not very far from me. It's snowing. We got maybe an inch of snow on the ground now. So I was like, have you looked for a job? And he's like, yes. He goes, that's why I'm dressed up, because last week I couldn't get a job anywhere. He goes, I could have had a job, but they looked at me the way I was dressed. I was like, how was you dressed? He goes, well, I had a holy sweatshirt on. I had some holy pants. My shoes, was falling apart, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. I was like, how did you get these clothes? And he was dressed nice. He had a nice button-up shirt. He had nice slacks on, like Dickie-looking pants. And his shoes, they was kind of rough, but he can get a job with it. So when he told me that story, now it's making me think, yeah, I want to work on cars and flip them this summer. So if I'm bringing in money and I'm working a full-time job, why can't I give back to my community? I do not like my hometown at all. If I told you guys where I lived, I guarantee you at least 10 of you guys would know where I live if I told you the name of the town. Just for the simple fact of this town is well known on murders back in the 80s. The, well, that goes clear back to the 30s, clear up until the 90s. There was murders here. They never been solved. Uh, there's been drugs all the time in this town, but now they're starting to get worse. You're starting, never really had homeless people until 7, 8 years ago. And it's just, and the cops here, they're crooked as hell. I can count on one hand how many good cops we have in this town. The sheriff department has a couple crooked people. There's a sheriff that still works at the sheriff's department that literally killed someone in the sheriff's department by slamming them on the ground. He was an autistic kid, slammed him on the ground, and he ended up going to the hospital and dying. And he still works there to this day. So I figured with me knowing the knowledge I know on how to do body work on cars and helping people that can't afford cars but put my time into them and put just a little bit of money into them. And I'm not talking like thousands of dollars to put into them. I'm talking set me a limit. $500 is the highest I will put into a car, and then I will turn around and then paint it or do whatever I have to flip it to make $2,500. Turn around, I just made my $500 back. Turn around, put that money in the bank, and then if someone needs help later on down the road, okay, I just help that person that can't afford a $4,000 car, but I have a $2,500 car. It runs great, and it drives. It might look okay, you know, but it will get them for another 5 years. It's safe enough to haul your kids, safe enough to drive from point A to point B. You see what I'm saying? So I figured if I do this, I can give back to my community. Even though I don't like this town, it's a black hole, but I can give back to the community. And if I can do this while I'm doing my videos, maybe if I ever did start making money off of YouTube, I will just use the YouTube money to keep doing what I do to cars and help and donate to the town so it can help the homeless. Because yes, there are a bunch of homeless out there, especially here in my town. There's homeless that did it to themselves. They got into the drugs. They don't want to get out of the drug scene. They don't want to pay their bills. They don't want to pay rent. They don't want to do all that. They rather, every time they get $50, instead of spending the $50, they rather take the money and blow it on drugs. So yeah, some of the homeless, they deserve what they're doing to themselves, but there are homeless out there, just like I was telling you about this kid at the gas station. He asked for 75 cents to get him a coffee, a hot coffee. It was cold out. He was dressed nice. He's trying to get a job. He's actually literally trying, because I seen all the applications he has and started to fill out. And so even though he lives in a tent under the bridge right down the street from me, he's literally trying. So instead of giving him 75 cents, I gave him $3 in quarters. I was like, look, dude, here's $3. Get you a coffee, get you 2 coffees, and go get you a bag of chips or a candy bar or something to eat. And that look on that kid's face was, it was priceless. Like, it looked like the look on his face almost looked like there was an angel standing in front of him. He just didn't know what to say to it. I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm way from being an angel. I'm not perfect. I fucked up in my life. Look, I'm a recovering drug addict and an alcoholic. Been clean for 3 years. But if I can do this with the knowledge I have by working on vehicles, and if I ever made money off of YouTube, I can literally give back to the people who are homeless that are trying to make something of themselves, but they just need a little bit of help, just like I did. I needed a little bit of help. And, and it goes back to me doing videos. I can't do videos and I can't go live every single day like some of these YouTubers can, because for the simple fact of I work 12 hours. So I have to go live either on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday. And so I figured if I can do this, and if I ever did make YouTube money, I can use the YouTube money or whatever I get from YouTube, I can turn around and put that in a positive way to help these people who need help, that wants help. And I can actually maybe save enough money to build, I don't know, a little apartment duplex that I can put maybe 5 or 6 people in and help them at the same time that needs help. And then once they get up on their feet, rent won't be very much. It'd be like either $50 a week, or it can be $300 a month, something that they can afford after they start working. And then once they start working and they start saving money, they have either a choice to stay for another 6 months until they get more money saved so they can get them a nice house for themselves or for them and their family, or they can turn around and stay, until they get, the down payment, first month's rent to get them an apartment. And if I can do that, I can just keep rotating people out. But the money I make off of that place will turn around and feed on fixing whatever needs fixed in those apartment duplexes, or it can go towards, helping more homelesses out. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. And me trying to get myself out there on YouTube so I can grow my channel, and doing this and trying to flip cars this coming up summer, working a full-time job, it is hard, but at the same time, it's hard. And everybody's like, well, the only way you're going to make a name for yourself is if you get up on people's panels. Like tonight, I told C-Fowls when I was in his chat, I was like, hey man, give me a few, I will hop up on your panel. I was working on a car, so time he got done with his live, I just finished up not very long ago on this, what I was working on. But at the same time, there's times I will get into someone's chat and someone would recommend me to come up on their panel, and I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be up here in a few. But I'm too scared to get up there because I'm afraid what those people are going to think about me, not on the panel, but the people in the chat. And I don't want to ruin the person that I'm on their panel. I don't want to ruin their channel. And I don't want to, if someone don't like me or something, I don't want them to start shit in the chat. And everybody's like, well, that's the only way you're going to get your name out there. That's the only way they're going to get to know you, who the real you are, is to get up on a panel and do what I'm doing right now. But the downfall is sometimes I don't have time to do it because I work Monday through Thursday, 12-hour shifts. Sometimes on the weekend, I'm trying to do my videos, so I don't have time to hop up on people's things. So, like I was telling Shay Darker earlier, I messaged him off a messenger, told him I was going to go live here in a little bit. So, right now I got 5 people in here, so I'm going to read these comments real quick, and then I will finish telling you guys what I was going to do after the first of the year. That's awesome to give back and help people out like that, man. Respect for that. Let me go back a little bit farther. Let's see. Bare Bones. What's up, fam? Nice to see you. I remember that comment. Said hi. Hi, Bare Bones. If you're still in here. What's up, Bare Bones? How you doing, man? L Square, Zup Joker, 1014. What's up? Uh, Bare Bones, Reaction, HBR. What's up, fam? Birthday chat. I just had to replace both front struts on my SUV. Yeah, that stuff right there, birthday chat, sucks. I've done it and it sucks, but it takes time. But once you do it the first time, it's easy the second time if they ever go back out. HBR, that's awesome to give back and help people out like that, man. Respect for that. There's more than one way to skin a deer. Yeah. Big Daddy, hello. Birthday chat. We need more Joker 1014s in this world. It which be much nicer place to live in. Thank you, birthday chat. Much respect to that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Seafowls. I did see ya. Sorry, I was talking. Nice to see you in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. But Seafowl says, much love, brother. Popping in to show some love. Like and describe y'all. Mad respect for the 3 years, brother. Thank you. You're good, bro. You're always welcome, but I'm not going to force you. You know my family isn't going to judge. I know, Seafowls, and I appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure I said that in the live chat earlier when you had it. L Square, brother, you're fine. Just get on the lives. You will start picking up subs and then you're on your way up. I personally like your content. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's in the live right now. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in and showing love. For some odd reason, my water bottle was leaking water. I don't know why. Hopefully it don't hurt my camera or my phone. But after the first of the year, my goal is, you guys already know what my plans are after the first of the year. By making money and by helping my community out off of YouTube money, or whenever I start making that, I will put, or donation, whatever happens once I be able to make money where people can donate or send money or whatever, however it works. I don't really know how it works, how you can start making money off of YouTube. But whatever happens with that, that will go into a savings account where I can start saving up to start feeding one of the things I want to do. So after the first of the year, I am buying a laptop. I'm going to take that laptop and I'm going to get it ready for YouTube. That way my wife can help me when I do videos. I don't edit nothing. So I just make the videos and they go straight from making a video straight to YouTube. I don't care if there's something that got fucked up in it or not. I want everybody to see the real me. So if I'm talking on one of my videos and I trip and fall, that's what you guys get. If I get hit by a car, that's what you guys get. At least it's on the camera so they can't hit and run. But anyways, so after the first of the year, like I said, I'm buying a laptop so we can do better videos to get them uploaded. For 2, I am starting a P.O. box after the first of the year. That way, there's been about 3 to 4 people so far. I don't know who they are. They're new subscribers. But there's been 3 to 4 people so far that has asked me for my address. I'm not going to give my address to nobody. But they wanting to send me stuff like signs and stuff for the garage, or they got some old tools they just want to throw away, but they want to send them to me. So what I'm going to do is set up a P.O. box after the first of the year, so that way if anybody wants to donate anything to the garage, they can donate to the garage. If anybody wants to donate, I know there was a couple people wanting the address to donate peanuts to the wife for the squirrels. There have been 2 people has got a hold of me on Facebook and wanting to do that. And there are the other people wants to donate like signs and tools and stuff for the garage, stuff that they think I could use, or material or whatever. That's fine. I don't like handouts. I do not like handouts, but that's fine if they want to. And if there's anybody out there who wants to donate like clothes that they cannot wear no more, or they can't they don't want for their kids or whatever, they can donate it to the P.O. box. I will go pick them up, and then I will give them out to the homeless that needs it. We do have an inner church here. We do have a Salvation Army. It does very little of that stuff. But they're starting to charge $1 to $2.50 for those clothes. I am not going to charge nothing. If they get donated to me, I will video me taking the donation, and I will video me going find someone who's homeless and giving that homeless person what I got donated, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure if anybody's interested, they can go to CFOWS, because I think CFOWS is going to do something similar to that as well in his town. And I think he already started. I know he's going through some issues right now. I'm not going to say what his issue is, but I know he's been going through some issues with his car. I know he's been wanting to do something similar to what I would like to do. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Like and describe. Mad respect for the 3 years, brother. You're good, bro. You're always welcome. Blah, blah, blah. Read that one. Brother, you're fine. Just get on the lives. You will start picking up subs, and then you're on your way up. I personally like your content. You could have a Cash App, PayPal, etc. Just pin it. I don't have none of those right now. Yeah, just trying to give back where I can. Exactly, CFOWS. That's what I want to do, because there are people that has helped me in the past 3 years. Now, to get me, I've been with my wife. I call her wife. She's my fiance, but I call her wife because we've been together for 6 years. I have been through, I know what it's like living on the streets. I know what it's like to live in a tent. I know what it's like to live in the cold, trying to find shelter, trying to find somewhere where it would keep you warm. I know what it's like to start a fire underneath a bridge just to stay warm. Hell, I started a fire in my tent, and I'm surprised I did not burn it down, but I did start a fire in my tent. Not a big fire, but it was one of those little propane tank kind of deals that you can screw to something to cook food on. Well, I kind of did something like that, but I didn't leave it burn all night the way I left it burn all night. I took like a bunch of pop cans and put them together and made like a bowl. And then I put some sticks and stuff in it, and then I sat it on a piece of wood so it wouldn't burn the floor of the tent. And then I just left it burning like that. So I did stay warm somewhat in the winter. So me working in the garage, even though I got heat, I got 2 heaters in the garage to keep me warm. but it also kind of gets cold in the garage here and there, especially if you go farther back towards the back door there. It gets a little colder because there's no insulation in the garage. So I figured, I know what it's like. And this is the thing. And this is why I think I get along with certain people that I have met on YouTube, like Seafowls, uh, because it seems like I can interact with each and every one of these people I have met, because for the simple fact of I have something in common with each and one of these people. For an example, Seafowls, I been in his shoes. You know the saying that I wish someone could walk a mile in my shoes. If someone would walk a mile in my shoes, I'm 41 years old. I became homeless I was homeless from the age of 28, clear up until I was 35, 36, I think. And I'm talking like downright homeless, lived on the streets. There might have been time where my best friend, she took me in for a couple months, but I couldn't like live with her all the time. She would go out of town or go camping with her family, and I couldn't stay there. She trusted me to stay there, but parts of her family didn't. So her mom and dad trust me, her sister trusted me, her kids trust me, she trusted me, but I didn't want to cause conflicts with her family, so I ended up finding a place in the woods or something to stay until she got back. So there was a couple people out there who would let me stay with them for a short period of time, long enough to, you know, get something to eat, stay warm for a couple days, like on the weekends. I would stay with them on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and then I would leave Sunday because they have to work the next on Monday. So I would either leave early Monday morning or Sunday night, and then I would have to do it all over again. But people would take me in here and there. That way I can get a warm shower, a warm dinner, just stay warm for a couple days. You know what I mean? And then I would hustle on the streets. And the hustle I did on the streets, I'm not proud of. And I'm not going to say what I did, but there are a couple things I did that where, I would find a bicycle or something laying in the yard. I would take it and go and sell it to the next person just to make 50 bucks for like my drug addiction. And then I look back and it's like, why did I do that? But I didn't do it all the time. I would pick up pop cans alongside the road and take it to the recycling center and turn it in and make 20 bucks at that time. So I would do stuff to make money, but I would also save that money so I can try to get a hotel room for a night. But at the same time, I was an alcoholic, I was a druggie, so I always had something on me to make a little bit of money. So I know how to do the money thing, the business side of things, even though I can flip drugs to make a little bit of money to stay somewhere or get a bite to eat or whatever. But at the same time, learning what I learned on the streets, being homeless and doing what I was doing, I took that knowledge, that street smart that I taught myself, and put it in my real life where I'm at today. I can lose my job tomorrow, and I will figure out a way to make enough money to pay for my bills. You can even ask my wife. I'm not the type of person that I will be depressed. Don't get me wrong. I will get real depressed. And if I did lose my job tomorrow, I won't sit on the couch and just be bummed. I will actually figure out certain ways to make money. even though that brick wall got piled up in front of me and I hit it. But that's life, right? It's life. When you get to a certain point in your life, you're always going to hit a brick wall. Nothing's easy, and that's the thing. My uncle told me, my uncle's the one, I don't know if anybody watched the video I did, but my uncle's the one that was fighting cancer, and then he ended up taking his own life about 3 or 4 years ago. And that's what really made me get off the drugs. Because he kept on telling me, dude, you need to get your life straightened up. You need to stop doing what you're doing. And I kept on telling him, yes, I will. And I slowly started working up that ladder. But I never got off the drugs. I just slowly started working up where I got a job, but I was still in the drugs. I got a place to live. I was taking care, the girl I'm with now, my wife, she was an addict at one point. She got off the drugs. She's 6 years clean, I think. If I remember right. Yeah, I think she's 6 years clean. I think she's clean longer than I have. But so my uncle always told me, and I always kept this with me, and he said it right before he died, before he took his own life. He told me, he's like, look, dude, he's like, nobody's going to help you. And I'm like, all right. Even though I know there was people around me, it was kind of helping, kind of giving me a place to stay when I was running the streets and homeless. And I was doing most of it on my own. So I didn't really know what he was saying until just a year ago. And I'm like, holy shit, now I can see what you mean. Once you start figuring stuff out on your own, it seems like you can't turn back and ask for those people for help, because they helped you long enough that you didn't really burn the bridge completely down, but you burn enough of the bridge that they're like, okay, he's not going to change. He's not going to get off the drugs. So he's going to be who he is. He's never going to change that. Now I'm in the routine of trying to show people that I have changed, that they can count on me. I'm not just going to go and just disappear for a while. You know what I mean? Say, oh, yeah, And I always worked. Don't get me wrong. I always had a job, but I never really kept that job long enough. I always got a job long enough to make just enough money to either get more drugs where I can flip it to make that money, or I would have enough work at the job long enough to have enough money to get me a place to stay for a little bit where I can have a hot dinner, where I can have a hot shower and lay my head on a pillow or something. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking like renting a place. I'm talking like staying at a hotel or buying a car and living in the car. But I always tried to work my way up. And then, like I said, my uncle told me, he's like, nobody's ever going to help you. You're going to have to do this shit on your own. And I looked at him, I was like, but everybody helps every day. You've helped me. My mom's helped me. My friend helped me. He's like, no, I'm not talking like that. I'm talking, nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to turn around and say, hey, Joker, here's $20,000. Go buy you a house. Here's $10,000. Go buy you a car. Here's $5,000. Go pay your rent and your bills for a couple months. He's like, nobody's going to help you. You're going to have to do it on your own. You're going to have to figure out how to stop doing what you're doing so you can save money. Because I would I would make $100, and I never had a lot of drugs on me. I always bought enough for me, and if I ever needed and got hungry enough, or I needed a hot shower, I would make just enough money where I can pay for those things if I needed to. But I never really was a drug dealer, thank God. But I made just enough to, if I needed to. Like for an example, if I needed $2, I would sell this cigarette for $2 so I can go get a cheeseburger from McDonald's, or a cheeseburger from McDonald's and go to the gas station and get me a can of pop. You see what I'm saying? But so my uncle always told me nobody's ever going to be there to help you. No, you're just going to have to do it on your own. And I did. For the past 5 years, I have struggled and I have made it where I'm at today. Because I was slowly getting off the drugs and alcohol. I was slowly getting off the alcohol and drugs. I wanted to, but it was always there. So I kept on doing it. Now I have been clean for 3 years. And I have been working for the past 6 years at a factory, steady. And it's been a bitch to save money, because every time I think I got enough money to save up to do what I need to do, there always something happens where I have to spend the extra money. So say if I got $3,000 saved up, some way, somehow I'll be like, hell yeah, I got $3,000 saved up. I can go put a down payment on a new car, or I can go put a down payment on a new house, or something, so I can stop renting. Something comes up where one of the vehicles break, and then I start dipping into that money. Then once I start dipping into that money to fix that vehicle, then the days pass, the hours pass, and then the next minute you know, you only have $1,000 in your account, and then you gotta, where did the money go? You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to teach myself I can save money. That's not an issue. But now I'm teaching myself how to only use so much of that money until I get paid next or whatnot. See what I'm saying? Because I was the type of person is, my grandparents, my grandpa, my great grandpa, that would be my mom's grandpa, so it would be my great grandpa. He always told me, because his wife, grandma, never worked a day in her life. She never got her driver's license. The only time she did work is when they had the grocery store. She would, they're from West Virginia. My grandpa stayed down there and did the coal mining stuff. And then he moved my grandma here to Ohio. My grandma ended up, while my grandpa was sending her money, she ended up buying a apartment with a storefront. So there was an apartment upstairs, and downstairs was a store, just a small little store, where they sold your meats and stuff. So when grandpa finally got the chance to move up here from sending enough money to support her, he ended up moving here, became a butcher, a meat butcher, so they can sell stuff out of their store, the meats out of the store. And they ended up becoming popular in their town, so they ended up buying a house. And then I was born. And then my grandpa always told me, I remember my grandpa sitting down and telling me, he's like, look, and he always said this to me, you're born alone, you die alone. You're born naked, you die naked. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Born alone, because when you're born, you're with your mom and your dad, or just your mom. But I see what he's saying. When you're born, they take you from your mom, put you in a thing, get you all cleaned up, and then an hour or two later, you come back to your mom, right? Okay, I see what he's saying. You're naked when you come out, so now I see what he's saying. Then he says, you die alone. When you're dying, he said, I see what he's saying. You die alone. So that means when you die, you're dying alone. You don't have your wife next to you dying with you. You don't have your grandkids next to you dying with you. You don't have your family next to you dying with you. You're dying by yourself. And what he meant by naked is when you go to a morgue, they undress you so they can cut you open, so you're naked on the freaking cold table. And then you see where I'm going with this? So my grandpa always told me that. And then my grandpa also told me, he goes, if you love a woman, and this is what made me the way I am today. Now, and you can ask some people, I'm a fucking dick. If you do something to piss me off, I'm not going to talk to you. And it's got to be something bad. If you fuck me over, I won't talk to you. If I let you borrow money and you tell me you're going to pay it back on a Friday and you don't pay it back, I'm not going to chase my money. You're a grown-ass adult. You can bring it to me. But if I call you up and say, hey, can you come and help me move this car? Or can you come and help me move some furniture? Can you help me come and do this? I expect you to come. Don't pick up the phone and be like, no, I got things going on right now. I can help you some other day. And then I drive past you and you're at home sitting on your front porch doing absolutely nothing. That's going to piss me off. And I will stop talking to you for that. And my grandpa always told me that you're going to have good people and you're going to have bad people. You're going to have to wean them out. You're always going to go through girlfriends or you're going to go through boyfriends. Don't matter who you are, what gender you are. But the thing is, my grandpa always told me, is when you're with somebody, with a significant other, treat her like you want to be treated. Put her on a pedestal. Put her high up. She comes first. Kids come first. You come last. You can ask my wife right now. If she was in here, she would tell you guys, yes, he that's who he is. I will put my wife clear up on top of the pedestal. If by any chance something happens, they need something, I will go out and get it. Even though I don't have the dollar to go get it, I will still figure out a way to get that dollar to go get it for her and her kids or my kids. And my grandpa always told me, if you do that, she will always stick with you till the day you die. She will stay by your side. She will be your ride or die. And I don't know how we got on this discussion, by the way. I have no clue. But this is my ADD. This is what happens. I have ADD, and it just starts bouncing from everywhere. So you all are probably falling asleep, if you're even still in here. It says I have 7 people, but I don't know if you guys are in here or not, because my phone's run off of Wi-Fi in the garage, so I don't know who's all in here and who's not. But I guarantee you're all falling asleep like, this motherfucker needs to shut up. But I'm going to keep talking. I will put her up on a pedestal, and the way I look at it is, my grandfather always told me, if you put your woman or man, the relationship has to be 50-50. It can't be 50-20. It can't be 50-10. It can't be 20-10. It can't be 25. It can't be 10-2. It has to be 50-50 in a relationship. And this is why the world is the way it is, because nobody takes the time to make it 50-50 in a relationship. There is no discipline in a relationship. There is no discipline in a relationship with your kids. I never once hit my kids. I never once spanked them on their ass. I never did that. But I guarantee if I pulled a spoon out, they would sit there and scream like I was beating the shit out of them. And that's the God honest truth. And you can ask them for themselves. If they was here right now, they will tell you, Dad's never hit me with a spoon or with his hand on my butt. But when he pulls that spoon out, I know he means business. And that's what's wrong with the world. And that's why relationships are common now, is you're with someone for the max of 4 years to 10 years, and then it's a divorce or split up. Because nobody's putting 50-50 in it anymore. My grandfather always told me, always put 50-50. When you're walking into the store, you don't walk behind your woman. You don't walk in front of your woman. You stand beside your woman, because right there is telling everybody around you that that relationship is strong. That relationship is so strong that it's going to make another woman want you, or it's going to make another man want her, because right there showing everybody around you that that relationship is so strong and they can count on each other forever. If my wife goes down, like say she has a bad day, she's sad, she's depressed, she's in a pissed off mood, don't argue. I don't argue with her. Well, sometimes I do, but I don't argue with her. I pick her up. I make her laugh. I make her smile, because that's my job now. I got to make her laugh. I got to make her smile to get her mind off of what happened that day, why she's in a bad mood, why she's having a down day. Just like if I'm down, if I had something happen in my day where it pissed me off and I'm down and stuff, she will pick me up. She will be my rock. She will be my backbone. Hey, hon, get up. Let's do this. Let's go shopping. Let's go do this. Let's go work in the garage. Hey, I just tripped and fell and hit my face off of a squirrel. Make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the world is the way it is today, because nobody's coming together. We're always working against each other. And that's why I like doing YouTube. That's why I like Seafowl's channel. That's why I like Barebones channel. That's why I like Progressive's channel. That's why I like Power Strokes channel, because nobody takes shit off of nobody, but they see the real in the people who sticks around, and then they see the fake people. And when I say I'm afraid to get up on the panel, I don't want people to judge me like that, think I'm just one of those trolls that's just trying to, yeah, everybody's out there trying to get their names out, but trying too hard. You know what I mean? Just like the incident it happened, I don't want the incident to happen like it did on Progressive channel. I think it was last night, and it seems like it's always me, not us. And that's the thing. That's where the channels, sometimes you got to be a dick and kick certain people off your panel, because it's all about me. I. There's no I in team. There's no I in family. When you're a family, you stick together till the day you die. Just like a relationship, you stick together. And when's the last time? I'm going to ask all you guys. I don't know how many people's in here. It's telling me there's 6 people in here. In the comments, it says I have 6 people in the comments. Right now, I see 1 people said I'm watching still, so that's L square. If there's literally 6 people in the comments, what I want to do is, fuck, I forget what I was going to say now. Never mind. Erase that. Oh, I know what I'm saying. If there's literally 6 people in the comments, Write a 1 or tell me your thought. How many times have you heard of a divorce, or how many times have you seen, even you, if you was in it, if it was your situation, how many times have you been seen divorces or relationships not working after 5 years or after 4 years or 3 years? How many times in the world do you see relationships not working? And I told my wife this, if I'm going to be in a relationship, I'm not in it just for shits and giggles. I don't want to play house. I don't play house. I want to be in a relationship for the long haul. I don't give a fuck if you got mental issues. I don't give a fuck if you got one arm. I don't care if I have to push you around in the wheelchair. I don't care. I'm in it for the long haul. Because I want to be like my grandma and grandpa. They was together for 70 some years before they passed away. And my grandma died of a broken heart. She passed away of a broken heart because grandpa passed away. And she passed away 2 years after grandpa did from a broken heart, because grandpa was always there to take care of her. And if you sit there and you put your woman or man on a pedestal, that person's never going to leave your side. It's not they can't leave your side because you do everything for them. Women are strong enough, they can survive on their own. It's because you guys are a team. You guys work so good together. And the way I look at it is, there's a freaking bug or something flying around. The way I look at it is, if you put that man or woman on a pedestal, not making them feel like they can't do it on their own because you guys are a team. It's so you guys can build stronger as you grow every year. Me and my wife, every year we do something stronger every year. Hey brother, I don't think I could do what you are doing on YouTube, just being honest. L Square, why is that? If you can put your mind to it, you can do it. And that's what I say in all my videos. Always be honest, or always be true, be positive, and if you can put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want to do. I always say that at the end of every single videos I do. All things. It's usually happens more with the younger age groups, brother. Once we get to about 30 or so, we're ready to stay with the same person. And a lot of the times we just deal with whatever flows they may have. Right. And I see that. But that's the thing. This younger generation don't know what us older generation go. Okay. When we was kids, for an example, when I was a kid, I seen my mom, go through a marriage, get divorced, get remarried, and then I watched her get beat on, and I got beat on. I got beat on every single day. My mom got beat on probably every single day too, but I was not around it as much. But I got beat on every single day by the same person that beat her. For the longest time, I thought that was love. I did, for the longest time, until I met the girl I'm with today. For the longest time, I always thought, okay, that's how it is. Tough love, you get beat on. Okay, is that how you got to do it to keep a woman or keep a man around? I never smacked a woman. I never hit a woman. I never laid a hand on a woman unless we're messing around or something and we're slapping each other or something. But physically and forcefully, I never did none of that. But I watched my mom go through it, and I always thought that was just tough love, because that's what he always told us. I'm just showing you tough love. I'm just showing you tough love. Quit being so stupid. Quit being so dumb. Okay? Then you get older. Then you get married. And then when I got married, at that time, my wife was beating the shit out of me every single fucking day, because when she came home, if I didn't sweep the fucking living room straight with the sweeper, I got a plate or something thrown at me. I got punched in the mouth. because I didn't sweep the floor right the way she wanted to do it, or the way she would have done it. I didn't do it the way she wanted me to do it. If I didn't go grocery shopping right away, she would punch me. There's been times where she sat there on the phone talking to her friends. Before she got on the phone, she would be like, "Hey, babe, can I go out with my friends tonight? It's Friday night. Can I go out for a little bit? Yeah, here's $100. Go have fun." Then she gets on the phone. "Oh yeah, I can't go out because he told me I couldn't go nowhere," making me look like the bad guy. So in the background, I would sit there and yell, be like, "Hey, I told you to go out. You can go out. Don't sit there and tell her I didn't. You're not allowed to go out." And then she goes, "See, he's yelling at me." And then you get into trouble, and then you start back into the drugs, and then you become a druggie again, and then you become an alcoholic. You get a divorce, and this younger age, that's how they live their life now. They think that's it. But see, us older people have seen it. Now we don't want to live it. So once we get to, and it's not a certain age, and I would disagree with you. When you got to 30, you just kind of deal with it. Now, I think it's what it is you love that person, but you both are afraid to go out and try again, so you just stick with that person. And you just let it go. What I call hate-love relationship. That's what I call it, all things. So I see what you're saying, but I wouldn't put an age on it. I would do you love each other, and you know you love each other, but you don't want, either you have kids, so you don't want your kids to suffer, or B, you both have went through similar shit in your lives, and you guys don't want to go and take the time to go find new, so you guys just stick together. That's the way I look at it. Because if you're not happy after the age of 30, when you hit 30s and you're like, "Oh, I'm with her, he's with me, oh well, yeah, whatever." If you're not happy, don't be with that person. Be with someone that makes you happy. Be with someone who's going to stand beside you. Not behind you, not in front of you. Someone asked me, they're like Joker. When you and your wife goes out to dinner or go to the grocery store, do you who walks in front of each other? Like, do you walk in front of her, or do you walk behind her? And I was like, I walk beside her. And he's like, "Well, then you just screwed everything up." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, the way I look at it is, sometimes my wife will walk in front of me because depends on where we're going. If we're going to a restaurant, he goes, my wife will walk in front of me because she's protected me that day, and I'm walking behind her protecting her. Or if I'm walking into a big mall or something, I will walk in front of her and she will walk behind me because she's watching my back and I'm watching the front. I'm protecting her and she's protecting me. I was like, no, I walk beside my wife. I even take my wife's hand till this day, and we've been together for 6 years. I will take her hand. We'd be walking in Walmart, and I'd be like, "Hey, I love this girl." But I never walk in front of her or walk behind her. I always hold her hand or walk beside her, because I have to protect her, yes, and she has to protect me. But at the same time, if you watch your surroundings, you can watch everything around you. And she can watch everything around her side too. She's doing the same thing. So you're protecting each other. You don't have to walk in front. You don't have to walk in the back. You can still protect each other if you're walking side by side. If it's a strong relationship, you can walk side by side into a store and still watch your surroundings. And I think every woman should watch her surroundings when she's out. If you guys are out together, watch your surroundings. I'm just saying you overlook things a little more once you get older, just so you don't have to invest time and energy over and over. Me, I've been with my old lady for 11 years now. And I see where you're coming, all things. I do. I see where you're coming. That's how we are, you know. There are some things you just overlook. You know, you get comfortable with that person. After so many years of, okay, for an example, we're going to use your year. You guys been together for 11 years, right? At the very beginning, it's the dating thing. Just like her dad called it, it's the romance thing, right? It's the romance. So so the first 5 years, they always say it's the hardest. So, but you guys, pick certain things out, work on certain things, get to know each other a little bit more, know their flaws, knows their ups and downs, what's wrong here, there. You know what I mean? And after so many years, you get comfortable. You get comfortable with that person. So I see what you're saying. You overlook certain things. Like for an example, you get so comfortable where she might not wash dishes for a week or something, and instead of going, God damn, you're not washing dishes, fuck it, and you just go in and you pick up and you clean dishes, right? Just like if you did the same thing, if you left your clothes laying around and didn't throw it in the hamper for a week, she will come up behind you and throw them and put them in the hamper. I see where you're coming from with that. But what you don't see is you guys are still a team. You're still a team. After 11 years, you overlook things, but you're still a team. You guys don't want to argue about certain things. Instead of, hey, babe, why didn't you throw your damn clothes in the hamper, and then an argument starts? Or, hey, babe, why didn't you do the fucking dishes today? It's been sitting there all week. You know what I mean? That's your job. No. Well, you don't realize it's 50-50. And this is the thing, and I've told people this. I think when people are in a relationship, they don't take the time to see the 50-50 part. They don't take the time to see, because they're so comfortable with each other, that they don't take the time to see what they used to do around from the beginning. You guys are still doing the same thing. You're just not making a big issue, a small issue into a big issue. You're not making a big issue into a bigger issue. You know what I mean? Now, we always got to keep their interest, and it feels like we're in a new relationship every day. Yeah and no. All things, yes and no. It just depends. You should never ever have to get up every day and be like, is she going to leave me? You should never have to worry about that. Or is he going to leave me? It shouldn't have to be like that. What people don't realize is, yes, everything that you've done, you got so comfortable with each other that you're not taking the time to look at the things you did at the very beginning of a relationship. Like you said, in a relationship, you're not trying to take their interest. You see what I'm saying? You just kind of okay, for an example, you kind of let yourself go, like I did. I let myself go. I've been with her for 6 years. I just let myself go. I don't watch what I eat. I don't stay fit. My weight goes up and down, but you're still showing each other that Okay, when you show each other that you love each other, you don't have to try to keep their attention. Just tell them. Like me and my wife, for an example, if we ever when we get in fights, and we don't argue that much, but when we get in a fight, and it could be a bad blow up. It could be something, a bad blow up. But before I leave that door or before she leaves that door, we always say, I love you. Every time. We always say, I love you. And that's why the world is what it is today. Everybody has to try to outdo each other. It don't matter if you're single. It don't matter if you're in a relationship. It don't matter if it's on the street. There's always someone trying to outdo someone because that's what they want to try to do. It's just so the relationship don't feel old and gotta keep the spark constantly going. Yeah, all things. Yeah. I don't know what you do with your lady, but I know with mine we have a special place to go where I took her one time before me and her ever started dating. I took her up on top of this hill at the small little horse park. There was you can overlook the woods and the scenery is very pretty. Maybe I might do a video one day and go up there and show you guys what I'm talking about. But you go up there, and I took her up there before me and her ever started dating. I was like, look, and I was still on drugs. I was still on drugs when I did this. I took her up there and I was like, look, you see all of this? You can have it all. I could give all this to you one day. It might take me a little bit, but I can give it to you one day. I can give you everything you see around you out in the country one day. I'm still working on it, by the way. We haven't made it to the country yet and have the trees around us, but we came pretty damn close. We're getting closer. But that's what I told her. And I told her, I was like, look, you've been in a bad relationship. I've been in a bad relationship. I will promise you I will never lay a hand on you. As long as you don't lay a hand on me. As long as you love me for who I am, I will love you for who you are. 6 years later, we're together. That's all what you have to tell your significant other. Just look at them. To keep the spark. You don't need to. Everybody thinks you need to keep the romance going. You need to keep everything in the relationship going like how it was at the very beginning. You don't. You just wake up one day and just kind of, you see your wife walking through the house 11 years later. Babe, you look beautiful today. That's it. And just let it go. Just let it go. You walk out the door. Hey, babe, I'm going to the gas station, grocery store. I'll be back. I love you. Down the road you go. That's what's going to keep the spark. Right there is what's going to keep the spark. That's how it's going to keep it going. You're going to sit there and be watching TV. She's going to come across, and you guys just got done eating at the table. She comes across. You're sitting there watching TV. She grabs your cup, a pop, and she walks off. Hey, I love you. Can you grab me a Mountain Dew? When you come back through, she brings you that Mountain Dew. She loves you. If she don't bring you that Mountain Dew, kick her to the curb. Joking. That was a joke. That was the stupidest joke I ever told in my life. Don't listen to that. But anyway, just sit there. And this is the stuff I have learned over the years. Like I said, I'm 41 years old. 41 years old, and it feels like I've been through something that an 81-year-old or a 91-year-old went through. That's just. I guarantee if I said here's my shoe. If you could walk 5 feet in my shoes, I guarantee you would kick them off and be like, holy shit, I don't want this. Hell no, I don't know how he did it. Let's put it this way. We're going to kind of get off topic about the relationship thing, because I think everybody's getting bored of the relationship shit, and I don't know how I got on that subject. Just call it ADD. Let's just blame it on it. This world, we need to start doing more discipline. If you look back 6 years ago, where the world is, this world always had problems. It really has. This world always had problems. Clear up until the coronavirus hit. Soon as the coronavirus hit, it seems like everybody got hit with something. It's like, oh, no common sense. No more politeness. We're all bitter. We're all mean. We all hate each other. Because that's what the government wanted. To divide the whites from the blacks and the blacks from the whites, and the rich from the poor and the poor from the rich. That's what they wanted. But the thing is, we're all doing the same thing. We're living the same way that we was 6 years ago. The only thing that's changed is the common sense. I feel the same about my life as well. I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of things, been in a lot of predicaments, and been in and out of jail, and dealt with addicts and falling in. Hey, I've been in and out of jail, but I've been in and out of jail for the stupidest shit that you could ever think of. The first time I ever went to jail was for fucking a ticket that I forgot to pay, and I went and spent 3 days or a night or something in jail and got out the next night. Now I finally feel like I've gotten to a place in my life where I feel like I'm getting a hand in life for once. Exactly, I feel you, and this is what I'm going to explain. I'm not even going to explain it. I'm going to tell you because I feel you. When I tell people, I know what you feel. I know how you feel. And everybody looks at me like, how do you know how I feel? You're dumb. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know how I feel. I can relate. Listen, when I say I know how you feel, all things, this is the thing. I've been to jail for the stupidest shit. The stupidest shit ever. The first time I went to jail for 24 hours, and that was for a fucking speeding ticket that I got for driving with no driver's license. My first time ever in jail. Scared to death. Second time I've been to jail. I never been to prison. But the jail I've been into is almost like the prisons I've heard of or people has told stories about. And it was county. So you might as well take county and a prison and put them together and it'd be the same freaking thing. At least the county I lived in at the time. The second time I went to jail was for child support. That was 30 days max. Third time I went to jail, child support. Fourth time I went to jail, child support. I've been in jail for child support 4 different times, and the fourth time I looked at my wife and I was like, you know what, I'm not I'm not going back to fucking jail. I gotta get my shit together. I need to start paying child support. And technically, the reason why is because I'm behind in child support. You can look me up. I don't care. This is why I'm so honest and upfront. I am so far back in child sports. I got 2 cases. They try to combine them to put me away. That's how they do it in that county. But they can't really put the cases together because they're 2 separate cases. But they try. But anyways, I will spend 30 days in county. So I stopped working there for the longest time because I felt like I kept on, every time I went and started feeling like I got my life straightened up, I always hit that brick wall. I always had to go to court every 3 months. So I would work for 3 months, go to court, and they put me in jail. Well, we're going to give you a week to come up with $4,000. How am I going to come up with 4,000? I don't have the money. I'm just getting my life started again, but I don't have the money. Okay, time that date comes back that they gave me, I didn't go to court. Why? There's no point of going to court. I want to make my money. I want to go to work. But granted, I was fucking myself because once they issued that warrant, somehow, some way, I always got caught. It might took them a year or 2, but I always got caught. Then once my ex-wife and I divorced, I was so afraid to go get my kids because I knew she would call them in and say, hey, this dude's got a warrant. He needs to go for child support. Bam, I would get arrested. So I would stop seeing my kids. So I was a bad father. I was the worst father you can ever imagine. For 6-7 years of their life. So yes, when I say I know how you feel, I know how you feel all things. Been there. I might have not done the same situations, but I've been in the same places, but different. So I know how you feel, if that makes sense. I've been to 4 different prisons, 2 of them being Indian, I don't know what that word is. Worst ones. Wabash and Westerville. So I've seen some things that would horrify a lot of normal square people. But I've become a better man. Exactly. You learn from your mistakes, you become better. Just like county. You've been to prison 4 different times and you've seen probably stabbings, you've seen people get shanked and shit. You've seen people get snatched up, you get people cut. You know what I mean? You've seen that shit. Gangs. All that. But I can relate to you because I seen the similar shit in county where I was. My first time being in jail in county, I had this dude come up to me. The dorm was filled with people. I had to sleep on the floor. There was probably 20 people in the middle of the floor, and there is like 8 beds in the very back, and they're all filled. A bunk, metal bunks, all the way across the wall, right? So I'm sitting on my little mat that they give you in prison in county. Well, some prisons they give you a little mat. I don't know how some of your prisons were, but like I said, I've never been in prison, been to county, and this county, it's rough. It's very rough. You got a lot of gang activity going on, a lot of politics. And I was sitting on my mat talking to an older guy. And I had this dude come up behind me. And I turned. And I'm the type of person, I always watch my surroundings. So, let me read your thing real quick. The worst thing I remember was 4 people using lawnmower blades as magic and just hacking off chunks of a dude's flesh. Case of gang situation. Wow, that's crazy. Uh, are you subscribed to my channel? If you are, maybe I might get with you after the first year. Maybe I might do a little interview with you or something to get to know you a little bit, bring you up on a panel or something. All things. But so back to the county thing, and that's crazy. That would fuck someone up in the head. But I had this dude come up to me behind me from my right. I was sitting there on my mat, and like I said, I always watch my surroundings. And I had this dude come up, and he had a rolled. The way they made their cigarettes in county was they took those little orange Bibles, pulled out the paper, and that's how they used to make a cigarette. But they used tobacco. Whoever was in the kitchen, someone from the streets would either leave cigarettes or they leave a can of chew out by the trash can, and whoever was in the kitchen would go out and grab it and bring it in. If it's a can of chew, what they do is take a pinch of chew, stick it between the pages of the Bible in the middle, and they close it and let it sit for 24 hours or so till it dries out, and then they would roll it and smoke it. We call it the crack cigarettes up there. And then we called the coffee crack coffee because it make whatever was in the coffee you be up all night. It's almost like crack. But anyways, I had this dude come up, asked me if I want to hit a cigarette, and I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm in here to do my time. I don't want to get in trouble, blah, blah. And remind you, I was in the middle of the room. There was camera in the back corner, and the window was right across from me. And the dude looked at me. He's like, why are you being a dumbass for? I was just asking you if you wanted a cigarette. And I told him politely. I was like, nah, I just want to do my time. I don't want to hit it. Well, that same night, I ended up moving after got in the shower or something. But I ended up moving from my spot to another spot up closer to the door. So when I fall asleep, I can turn my back and I can look at the mirror on the wall where the officers were behind the glass. It was a mirror. So when I look at it, I can see someone coming from behind me. And then if I'm on the other, like laying on my stomach or my back, I can see the door behind me and I can see the reflection when they come towards me. So I was laying on my back, and remind you, I already moved from that position where that dude asked me where I wanted a cigarette. I already moved while he was in the shower, so I ended up moving. So I moved up front closer to the mirror and closer to the door so I can watch my surroundings while I'm sleeping. And I remember looking up, and I can see 3 dudes coming up to where I used to be at, where I moved from. They ended up beating the shit and stabbing the dude they thought was me. And I felt so bad for that dude. They took him out on a stretcher the next day. He literally had holes in his side, and the officers wouldn't come and get him. People are hitting the button. Hey, this dude's getting stabbed. This dude's getting stabbed. And, oh, we're busy right now. We're busy right now. They never came. We had to literally put rags on this dude's side until 5 o'clock in the morning when they turn the lights on so they can come in and get the dude. And when they came in at 5 o'clock and realized it was not me, honestly, I think, and I'm not a hard ass, I'm not a badass, I get my ass kicked. Hell, I got jumped by 6 people and got fucked up pretty bad. But I got a little bit of respect while I was in that dorm because I outsmarted those people. So people left me alone after that because people looked at it as, holy shit, he knew something was getting ready to happen to him because somehow, some way, the dude who offered me the cigarette thought I was disrespecting him, and the politics that's in there. When I said no, I just want to do my time and go home, they thought I was weak. and thought I was disrespecting him because he thought he was in charge of the dorm when he really wasn't. So pretty much he ended up trying to put a hit on me. But anyways, this is the thing. People say, "Oh, county's easy. We can do that stand on my head." Like you, all things. You probably been to county. You probably, I don't know your situation. You you've been in county, but it's probably not as bad as prison. And not everybody told me that. "Oh, you're going to county. Oh, it's easy. It's easy." So I went in there thinking it was going to be easy for me. But the town I was in, actually the city I was in, the county of that county, dude, it's just like the streets, man. It's politics. It's politics. And that's how prison is. Prison's politics. So when you go to prison and you get out of prison, you go to a county like I did and get out of county, you're going to live the same lifestyle, but you're going to live it in a different way. You're going to better yourself, but you still got that smart. Does that make sense? All things? I don't know what your response would be on that, but that's how I looked at it. The times I've been in that county jail, never been to prison, but the times I've been in that county jail and watched that dude get stabbed, every time I go in there, I stay to myself. I don't start trouble. Nobody starts trouble with me. They already know the background of me before I even get up to the dorm, because they're already asking questions just like a prison would. They're already, as soon as I hit that door, they're asking me for my paperwork. And I'm a nobody. But I know how the situation works in those kind of places. And in that county jail, everybody's like, "Man, you're going there? That sucks, man," because I heard it's like prison. And it's rough. It's very rough. So yes, I can sit here and hold my head up high and say I've never been to a prison, and I would never recommend anybody go to prison. But I've been to county, but I can still hold my head up high because the county I was in is just like being in prison. So I can relate to those people who's been in prison. I've seen people get shanked. I've seen people get beat. I've seen people get sliced. I watched a dude get a Joker smile. I watched a lot. I watched some crazy ass shit. Yeah, you're oh man, I hate when I cannot read certain words. But anyways, you right. I think I understand it now. But yeah, exactly. The stuff and that's the thing. That's why I can relate to a lot of people, like all different kinds of people, because I've been through the same thing. Like there's some people that like I tell my kids. I tell my kids this all the time. I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing at all times. I hear, I see, I know everything. And I tell everybody that. Just like I told my wife not very long ago. I was like, "Dude, you can cheat on me, but I'm going to find out." Somehow, some way, everybody finds out. That's why I don't understand the YouTube streets. You got the trolls, you got the people that start shit with other people. And the other YouTuber, there's some YouTubers that likes the drama, and there's some YouTubers that don't like the drama. They just want to do their thing only, and go with it. And there's people like me. It can relate to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Just like I can relate to Bare Bones, I can relate to uh, Seafowls, Power Stroke, Ryan Upchurch. You know, you don't necessarily have to be in jail for me to relate to you. I can relate to you in a whole different way because I might be 41 years old, but from the age of, honestly, I moved so fast in my life from the age I was getting beat on. My mom left my dad when I was like 5 years old, I think, 5 or 6. My mom left my dad, so I never had a dad in my life. My mom got with my sister's dad. My sister's dad used to beat the shit out of me every freaking day until I was 17 years old. When I turned 17 years old, he tried to beat on my mom. I stood up for my mom, and I had a baseball bat in my hand, and I looked at him. I was like, look, you ever come through this door again, I will beat the shit out of you. And he's like, what are you going to do? Beat me with the baseball bat? I was like, look, motherfucker, you have one bad knee. I will take this baseball bat and put you on your ass so quick and kick you in the face, it will make your head spin. That's when he realized not to fuck with me ever again. Right after that happened, my mom ended up divorcing him. My mom ended up meeting this other guy who she's currently with today. She sat there and she said, introduced me to him. He had a cowboy hat on, a tight shirt, tight jeans, cowboy boots. I looked at him. I was like, are you a redneck? He said, yes, I'm proud to be a redneck. And I looked at him. I go, there's 2 things you need to know. Do not hit my mom. Do not lay a hand on my mom. And do not touch me. He said, okay. To this day, he has not once touched me except for one time. And that's when he grabbed me by my shirt and we got into an argument over a transmission of a car. He grabbed me. He slammed me down over top of a couch. I got up and started swinging at him, and eventually he told my mom that he was surprised that I did not grab a butcher knife. It was laying on the counter and stab him. I'm not saying he was scared of me. I'm not saying I wouldn't get my ass kicked by him. I'm just saying that's just the kind of mindset I had from the age of 5 years old till I was 17. Then when I was 17, I got kicked out. Right before I turned 17 out of my mom's house, she pretty much told me, if you want to act like a grown adult, there's the door, there's your car, go, get out of here. And I left, and I moved out, started living with a buddy of mine. Started living with him and his parents for a short bit of time. And then I went to school every day, but I ended up skipping school. Got in trouble, and then I ended up getting in trouble with him, with the cops. And I had 120 days hanging over my head, prison time. Ended up having to graduate high school to get those charges dropped. So my mom her and her husband came and picked me up, moved me back to their house, told me I had till graduation, and I had to graduate. If not, they was going to turn me into the police department. I graduated my senior year. I graduated, and I went right back, going out of my mom's house, moved out of my mom's house, got me my own place, even though she had to co-sign for me, but I got my own place. It was only like $200 a month. I worked, smoking weed for a little bit, and then once I turned 21, I got introduced to some other drugs, pills. I did pills off and on from 21 clear until I was 36. Then when I was 25, I got introduced. No, when I was 25, I got introduced to heroin. I did heroin for almost 2 full years. 2 years. I OD'd off of heroin, scared the shit out of me, where I quit on my own. Then I ended up moving back in with my moving with my kids' mom. We ended up getting a house. I ended up getting clean for a short period of time. Me and her got married. We got married in the end of October of 2009. We got divorced in September of 2011. but technically we wasn't living together. So the divorce, I looked at it as it was already done. So a year and 1 month, we was divorced. We ended up. I ended up moving back to my hometown. I ended up getting into drugs until about 3 years ago, and then I've been clean since then. 3 years ago. So I've been clean from meth, heroin, pills, alcohol, all that shit. I might drink a beer here and there, but I don't like to drink. I don't like to do the drugs. I don't like to do the pills. None of that shit. I don't fuck with none of that. I don't like people around me. I kicked all those people out of my life. I started a small circle. That's why when I first started doing YouTube, I'm pretty sure in one of my videos I said that I only had two good friends, and that's a female and that's a male. My best friend, he's not around no more. He ended up moving. My other friend, she still lives up where I graduated from. So we talk here and there, but she's got her life. I got my life. Uh, I'm not married right now. I called the woman I'm with my wife because we've been together for 6 years. Um, when I relapsed, I ended up 3 years ago. I went and got help for doing drugs. So I go through a place, and I've been clean for a while now. To be honest with everybody, I've been clean for a while now. 3 years clean, sober. So when I say I can relate to someone, that means I can relate to them in a certain way. Just like all things. When you said you've been in prison, I can sit here and be like, look, dude, I can relate to you. I never been to prison, but I've been to county, and it's just like prison where I went, and I can relate to you in somewhat. I can relate to how you had that lifestyle in prison, because I had the similar lifestyle in county, where I had to keep one eye open. I had to watch my back. I had to group myself with certain people so other people wouldn't fuck with me. So I had a little bit of protection. It's almost like a white boy can never join a gang. I could never join a gang because I'm white. So I had to stay with my race, or I had to go to a different race. It's almost like having to go to the skinheads or go to the gangbangers. You see what I'm saying? So I know what it's like. I never been to prison. Never once been to prison in my life. Been to county. And that's how the politics worked up there. So that's how I can relate to certain people. And when I got into the drug scene, when I was doing the drugs, for the longest time, for almost my whole life, it was because I was numbing the pain from the shit I was going through, the shit I've been through, the shit I thought the drugs were making me stronger, because it was making me happy, because I wasn't thinking about other shit that happened to me. So a lot of people are like, you don't know. Like, I know in one of my videos, I even said this in one of my videos, I can relate to a lot of people. And someone made a comment in one of my videos in the comment box saying, how can you relate to anybody because you're not them? You don't have to be them to relate to them. Hell, Big Daddy can tell me, I can probably relate to Big Daddy in somewhat, somehow. Some way, somehow, I can relate to him. Just like all things, I can relate to you in a certain aspect. I can relate to C-Files in a certain aspect. I can relate to Progressive in a certain aspect. I can relate to Ryan Upchurch in a certain aspect. There's always someone can relate to someone in certain aspects. Did you get the cop video done? No, I did not get the cop video done because how can I explain this? Most of the video of the cop thing was my wife's face. You can hear the conversation, but it's my wife's face. But she did come up with an idea. She said that I can probably blur her face out so you cannot see her face. So there's a program that I can add on my phone that I can blur faces out or put something over that person's face that I don't want to be seen. But I probably will bring that video out when I get my laptop here in a couple weeks. Because the program I want to put on the laptop, it comes with the laptop actually, because there's more things on YouTube now. Like laptops come with a lot of shit anymore, and I didn't realize how I'm with. But there is a program that I can do for my videos. So Big Daddy, just give me a few weeks. I will have that video uploaded where you can't see my wife, so you can hear the conversation that was going on in that video. So I want a lot of, I can't wait to get that video out, because I want everybody to, and I agree, I was in the wrong in some of it. I was, especially when there's an officer standing in front of you and he's telling you to stand still, and you're so pissed off that I literally went to my vehicle, opened the door up, and reached in to grab my food. I probably could have got shot. I probably could have got tased. I probably could have got fucking slammed to the ground. That's my stupidity. Some of the video you will hear, you won't see it, but you can hear what's going on. You can hear him going, "What are you doing?" I'm getting in my fucking truck so I can get my food out. I'm grabbing my food and my wallet. So you know, right there, I could have got hurt. Then you can hear him, "Where are you going?" I'm going up on the fucking porch because I'm fucking cold. Who cares where I'm going? I'm on my fucking property. I can move around on my property. I don't have to do what you're telling me to do. Yes, you might have a badge, you might have a gun, you might have a taser, you might be the law, but you're on my property, so I can do whatever the fuck I want on my property. As long as I'm not harming myself, my wife, or you, I can walk around on my property. I'm not being detained. If I want to go and sit on my porch, I can go and sit on my porch. So you can hear those conversations in the video. You just can't see nothing because my wife had her phone, my phone, literally, like, here's my old phone, but she literally had the phone like this, listening to the conversation. So when it was recording, it was literally, the camera was looking up at her, because she thought, when I handed my phone to her, she thought it was actually flipped around and recording the other way. She didn't realize, because the way she had it held like this, so the camera on the front was technically getting her up in her face, and she thought it was recording on the back side of the phone, recording me and the officer, when it wasn't. So that's the issue. But yes, Big Daddy, I will get that video uploaded for you soon as I get my laptop in a couple weeks. Just give me 2 weeks and I will have it uploaded. Promise. I still have it on my phone. Actually, I wonder if I can. No, I can't do that, because this phone is not activated. It just runs off of Wi-Fi. So as again, I say, maybe I can take it from this phone that you see me on now and transfer the video over to my other phone, but I can't, because this phone's not activated, so I can't transfer stuff from email to email or videos over to the phone. I can't do it. So, but yes, I will have that video uploaded for you. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go check to see if my my heaters are still going. Little squirrel, or L Squirrel, you and the family will get to the country. Just keep your eyes open on the breeze. I wish you all the best. Thank you. I appreciate that. Play it on live. I don't know how to do that, Big Daddy. Or yeah, I don't know how to do it. I haven't hit. There's certain when you go live, I don't know if you can go live or not, but on mine, I have to hit so many. Just like when I went live just a little bit ago, when I went live, it actually came up and said I opened something up where I can take certain people's response and put it up on the screen, like how CFOWs and all them do it, where like I can leave a comment and they will pull it up on their screen so everybody can read it. I just got it. I just got enough people or enough watch time on my live that I opened that up. So I don't know how that actually works. Is it on a different phone? Oh no. The video that I have, it's actually on the phone I'm recording on, or you guys see me on right now. It's on that phone. This is my old phone. There's nothing on this phone. Only time I have this phone with me and on is if I'm on someone's panel and I can watch the comments, because I can't watch comments on my phone for some odd reason. I don't know how to do all that technology. Remember, the music in the background can hurt you on YouTube. Can you hear that? I didn't know if you guys can hear that or not. Thank you, though. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a speaker right above me. And my camera is hooked to it. Not the camera you guys see me on, my house camera. I got cameras in the garage too where my wife can watch me. I got cameras on the inside of my garage. I got cameras on the inside of my house. I got cameras on the outside of my house. I got cameras everywhere. Because I'm always in the garage by myself, so that way my wife, if I'm underneath a vehicle and she don't see a lot of movement, she knows to come and check on me and make sure I'm not squashed by a vehicle. Now in the summertime, when it's not cold out, she's outside more often, so I can leave the doors open and she's outside, so she will check on me that way. But in the winter time, I have cameras. Safety first, exactly, safety first. But yeah, I didn't know if, I know I can hear the music, but I didn't know if you guys could hear it. But thank you very much for telling me you can hear that music, so I can turn it down a little bit. So anytime I go live, any of you, whoever's in the chat, anytime I go live, if you hear some kind of music playing in the background and you can actually hear it, please let me know so I can turn it down, because I don't want to get any strikes or get into any trouble on my channel. I want my channel is just not working on cars. It's literally a little bit of everything. A little bit about my recovery, a little bit about the wife feeding squirrels in our neighborhood. She when we move to the country, we're going to have to snatch the squirrels up and take them with us because they got so used to eating. Yes, it's loud and clear. Okay, can you still hear it? If you do, let me know and I can turn it down some more. How about now? I turned it down. If you guys can hear it now, I barely can hear it, but I'm deaf. I'm deaf in one ear. It's hard for me to hear out of one ear. I'm not like fully deaf in the left ear, but I can hear someone coming up on me, but I got some hard hearing. Old age. So, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? How long have I been on here? 2 hours and 18 minutes. Holy shit, it's 2:17. That should be okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to probably be ending the live. It's 2:17 my time. So, probably about 2:20, 2:25 my time. I'm going to end the live, but does anybody have any questions for me? I try to answer the best as I can, or want to know something about me, or you can ask me whatever. I don't care. It says I got 6 people in here, but 2 of you is the only ones that's been really talking. Well, 3 of you. So I'm taking questions right now. Taking questions. Answering questions. There you go. That sounds better. Answering questions. If anybody's got any questions. Oh, I was going to check on my heaters. Actually. So what's everybody doing tonight? Chilling, waiting for me to talk. Nobody has any questions? No questions. I'm open to anybody's questions. But anyways, what else can we talk about? Yeah, the world is just, there's no common sense in the world. There's definitely no discipline in the world. Yeah, Joker 1014. I'm going to eat and bed. How many projects you have going on, and are you into RC cars? Good question. Good question. All right. I won't keep you very long. I will answer this question so you can eat and go to bed. I used to be into RC cars. I used to have 2 Nitro state T-Max. I don't know if you can see it. I do have a T-Max or a Traxxas. It's not. Yeah, it's a Traxxas, but it was T-Max also. I had a T-Max Nitro truck, monster truck, and I had a Traxxas monster truck. I have the banner back there. Um, I used to be into it hardcore. Me and a buddy of mine. He had a lot more than I had, but we used to be real big into it. I used to the T-Max truck. No, the state or the Traxxas truck. T-Max truck, the Nitro T-Max truck. It had a 3.3 big block on it. I bought that brand new. It ran 45 miles an hour out of the box, brand new, back in 2007, 2008. Bought it brand new when Nitro used to be a big thing. Now it's battery operated cars. But I bought it brand new. I ended up putting another $1,000 into it. Aluminum suspension, all that. Put the 4.2 or the 4.0 big block after they made the 3.3. At that time, the 3.3 was the biggest, and then a year later, they ended up bringing out a 4.0, and it was a bigger engine. I got my daughter in it. We had 15 or 20. It's expensive. Yes, it's very expensive. My daughter, I ended up buying a, what is it? A Wrestler. Bought a Wrestler, battery operated one. Bought a Wrestler, changed the gears out of it, made it go a little bit faster. My my T-Max would outrun the Wrestler, but she had a stadium truck that I built for her. She ended up racing it on a dirt track course, and she raced in the kids class, and she ended up getting like a little plaque kind of thing in first place. She came in first, second, and third, I think it was, a couple times, and she ended up getting little plaques and stuff. It was kind of cool. She's not into it no more. She's into the boys and the 18-year-old stuff the girls do nowadays. The lipos are very fast these days. Yes, I heard the lipo. Now, my buddy did have some lipo ones as well. He had probably 16, 15, 16 cars, maybe more. He built some of them. He had, we called them wall trophies. The ones you build that you do not, you start it, the get them tuned and timed in, and then he would put it up on the shelf. That's it. That's how he built a couple of his. I called them wall trophies. But yes, he did have a couple lipos. He had a what is that one lipo one? I can't remember it. I want to say it started with an E. It was one of the very fast ones they ever came out with lipo when lipo first came out with RCs. I forget the name. Revo. I think it was called a Revo. It was like one of the fastest ones they had straight out of the box at the time. I don't know what's fast now. I don't have no more. I was thinking about buying one this summer just to kind of get back into something different. My hobby right now is, well, it's not even a hobby. It's making money. Is working and doing body work to cars and buying S10s and stuff like that, making them into mini trucks. It's fun for the family, and then they grow out of it. Exactly. But I used to build. If you go to my Facebook, if you go to my Instagram, you will find me on Instagram. If you ever been on Eli or Progressive's panel, my very first time being on his panel, you will see my actual name. And then you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And you will see model cars that I built. Actually customized, chopped up and customized them. I do have a couple in the house. I will do a video on a couple that I did in the house. I got a C10 that it's not fully put together yet, but I painted already, and I was starting to do some customization to it because over the summer, middle of summer, I ended up selling all of my models except for the ones I wanted to keep, and got rid of all of them. Now I wish I didn't because it's winter time. So when I don't have kerosene to heat the garage, that would give me something to do in the house. So my wife's kind of bummed because I got out of them, but hopefully that answered your question. Just go, okay, if you got Facebook, just go to Chris Muller. Muller. Look me up. That's the last time I'm ever going to say my name. But you can look me up on Facebook. I don't know if I can get on Facebook this way. If I can get on Facebook with my old phone, I show you what my Facebook page looks like. And hopefully you can catch my name quick enough. Bloop. Hopefully you caught it quick enough. Any more questions, anybody? It says I got 5 people on, but I'm really not sure. But It's 2:28, so I think I'm going to end this live. Thank you for everybody that showed up in the live. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for listening to me talk to get to know me a little bit, know a little bit where I'm from or who I am and my background, how I grew up, how I became who I am today. Um, I'm going to try to do a live tomorrow. I will put out on the message board or whatever. I will put something out so you guys can see that when I go live. So you guys know when I go live. I will put out the time and what time I'm going live. It seemed like it helped tonight a little bit, but other than that, I think I'm going to end this live on this note saying always stay positive, always stay true, and always remember, don't let anybody, and I don't care who it is, I don't give a fuck if it's the president. I don't want anybody to tell you you cannot do something. If you're able to think about it, you're able to do it. I stick by that for the past 3 years. 3 years ago, I stuck in my head that I wanted off drugs. I wanted off the alcohol. I was done with the party scene. I just wanted to have a family and I want to become somebody. And that's what I want to do. And I seen it, I visualized it, and I'm doing it. I'm a proof living example of it. I'm not better than anybody. I never will be better than anybody. We all have secrets. We all have skeletons in the closet. But I'm one of those people, I don't keep them in the closet. I will tell you about them because I am a true person. And I want everybody to respect me for who I am, not respect me because of the lies I told or did or whatever, like some of these YouTubers. So, I told you a big part of me, and hopefully you guys keep following me. Hopefully you guys tell other people to subscribe and like my channel and share my channel. But like I always say, stay true, stay positive. We will get through this world together. We are together. We're just not one person. We are a family, and we always will be a family. As long as you're on my channel, we will always be a family and good friends. And we will never hide anything on this channel, ever. So with that being said, I will have my P.O. box after the first of the year because people have asked me about it, about the P.O. box where they can donate clothes so I can give to the homeless. There's a couple people wants to donate to my wife peanuts, bags of peanuts, so she can feed the squirrels that we have running around in our yard because that's what she does on a daily basis. She feeds them 3 times a day. And some people want to donate stuff, signs and stuff to the garage. I personally, they asked me about this a while back when I first did a video of my wife feeding the squirrels. Someone asked me if they can donate. I said, or asked if they can have my address so they can donate some stuff, and I was like, I felt like that was a handout. And they told me, don't think like that. It's not a handout. They want to do it. So, I'm a stalker named Mike. Yo. So, I will have a P.O. box here shortly. And so, I was just throwing that out there. If anybody wanted to donate like clothes to the homeless or whatever in my hometown, you're more than welcome. But with that being said, I'm going to get off here. And I am a stalker. Hi. And hopefully you can catch me in the next live. I just looked. give another try tomorrow. Have a great rest of your weekend. Later, brother. L Square, later. Thank you. I appreciate you showing up, and hopefully I answered your questions the best as I can. And thank you for just sharing your thoughts with my thoughts. I appreciate it. And everybody in the comments, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for showing love. Thank you. And I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. You guys are good people. And I will definitely will go live sometime tomorrow. I will put something out for you guys tomorrow when I go live. With that being said, I'm out. I'm going inside. I think my heat is starting to die down now. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. I'm a stalker named Mike. Yo, do you have any questions? I'm a stalker. If you do, I will answer your question real quick. But with that being said, I am going to hop off here. And once the video is uploaded, you can rewind and watch it from the beginning if you would like. Or you can check out the channel and view. Or I think you've been in this area before. I think I've seen you around. I think. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. See ya. And I guess nobody has any more questions. Thank you. Much love. See you all in the next video. Appreciate it.